Hi, my name is Jake Myers. I have the honor of being the one and only son of my dad, Marlon Myers. um, I'm not going to go into how great of a man my dad was or how great his character was, because you all know that. You all know my dad, that he really was the greatest guy. So what I am going to do is I'm going to talk about one of my favorite memories. So I was 15 years old, and I had to have an El Camino. I don't know why. Was it a car? Was it a truck? I just had to have one. So I found one in Prior Lake. It was a 1969 blue Chevy El Camino. So I had the Chevelle body style, and it was great. We test drove with my dad, and I loved it. So I told the guy, or the seller, give me a day to get the money. Give me a day to pay you, so 2 days, and I'll buy the car. He said, great. He called me the next day. He said, hey, I sold the car to an all-cash buyer. They bought it that day. So I was like, great. So then there really wasn't, I was keep looking, there really wasn't a whole lot of cars in my price range, an El Camino in my price range, being 15. So I found one, and to be totally honest with you, I wasn't crazy about it. It was about an hour-ish away, maybe an hour and a half, and it was a white 78 El Camino, so it had the Malibu body style. So my dad and I, we weren't doing anything, so he's like, yeah, let's go check it out. So I'm like, sure. So we drive up, and we talked to the dealer, and the dealer knew that the car was for me, but he's like, hey, only have my dad drive, because I was 15 years old. So my dad's like, okay, sweet. So my dad pulled it out of the lot, and the town really wasn't busy. The street wasn't busy. I don't remember if it was dead or not, as far as no cars, but I remember there wasn't a whole lot. So then the second or third turn, I remember we were at a stoplight, and he's just looking around. He's looking in his rear view. He's looking, he's looking around. And I'm just like, what are you doing? There's nobody around us. There's no cars in front, behind, on the sides, nothing. And I just remember, I was like, what are you doing? And then, he just turned and, gave me the big old grin. And I'm just like, what are you doing? And he just lit them up, just roasted the tires. Then he turned down the street, and he just whipped the rear end so hard. I mean, he did like 3 or 4 hooks, and he was just all over. And I just remember him just cranking the wheel, and oh man, my dad was the best salesman that day, because that day I had to have that car. So that car could have broke down, and I had to drive it. I had to have it. So my dad tested the brakes and did some other stuff, and all was well. So then, even though he was instructed not to, he let me drive it. And I remember I tried to do the same thing. So I'm at a corner, and I tried to do what my dad just did, and I don't even think I chirped the tires. I did nothing. And he just gave me that look, what are you doing? And I'm just like, but I'll never forget that time. And then, so we drove it back to the dealership, or he did, and he talked the guy down, I think $500. So I think I bought it for $1,500. And then we have a whole bunch of other memories of building the engine and other stuff that I can't go into. But that car, and spending all that time with my dad, because of that car, was one of 3 major things in my life that altered and changed my life and made me the guy that I am. And I can't thank you enough, Pops. I love you, and I miss you so much.